So anyone who knows, everything that I do tends to be around the letter F. So it's really interesting. And for the people that did numerology with me the other day, the letter F, so we got A, B, C, D, E, F is a number 6, which is all about nurturing. So of course, I'm always creating things around the letter F. The 6 money frequencies all start with F as well. I don't know why, it's just what happens. So welcome to the 3 Fs for success. And this is something that I created a little bit, quite a few years ago now. But the 3 Fs for the success are what I would call the fundamentals of allowing you to become successful. The 3 things, or the 3 Fs, are what you need to become successful. And again, anyone who's watching this live, either on my personal or business page, you can register for the webinar and receive the PowerPoints as well. And guys, any of you that are on here, please ask questions and I will answer them at the end of the presentation. So what are the 3 Fs for success? Unfortunately, they're not what most people think, because the letter F sort of makes you think of some explicitive words. But what they are is, number 1 is foundation, number 2 is focus, and number 3 is forward. So let's go through this. And for you guys that are on the webinar registered, you will receive this whole thing, and you will get to see the slides as well. So number 1, the very first F for success is a foundation. So I like to think about that with this metaphor. You cannot build a house on top of weak foundations. It will eventually crumble. So the same way, you cannot build success on top of weak foundations. So the first thing that you need to do to create a strong foundation for your success is to create goals. The unconscious mind needs to know where it's going. The unconscious mind needs to have a focus. It needs to know what you want so it can filter and show you absolutely everything that you want. And as you know, my favorite way to set goals is to use SMART goals. The reason why I like SMART goals is because it encompasses a whole lot of different things from the law of attraction that some of the other ways of creating goals don't set. So of course, you have to create simple goals. The unconscious mind is not a complicated mind, and if you create convoluted goals, it doesn't get it. It likes simple instructions, and you need to be specific. And you'll see that I often will say to people who comment in my groups or anything like that, what specifically is that? And I just did that this morning with a client. The goal needs to be meaningful for you, and you need to be able to measure it. What's it going to look like? You need to act as if you've already got it, and it needs to be something that's achievable for you. Now, a lot of things are achievable, but sometimes we tend to look at our goals in such a massive, big picture that we, you know, when you think about it, you can't achieve that goal straight away. There's smaller little steps along the way that you need to achieve. So your foundation or your goals need to be broken down. As I said, I love using this, you know, the analogy of a house. We don't put one big foundation in a house. There's many. Okay, so there's lots of little stepping stones to get that house built on top. It also needs to be realistic for you. So if you're looking for a realistic goal, or you want to achieve something, you have to make sure it's realistic for you, and it's something that is realistic as a human being that you will be able to achieve. So I don't believe that we have many limitations in life, especially when it comes to our mind, our emotion, our spiritual self, but physically we do. Unfortunately, as you get older, there are some things that you can't do physically, so you have to make sure it's realistic. And then responsible, what does that mean? Responsible means that it's not clashing with any other areas in your life, and that when you actually create this goal, you have a think about what the outcome of this goal is going to be, that it's not affecting another area of your life which is important to you in an adverse way. You also need to put a timestamp on a goal. When do you want this to be achieved? And you need to work towards what you want, not away from what you don't want. So creating a foundation is about setting a goal, making sure that you know exactly where you are right now and where you have to go. And then you need to start working at bridging the gap between where we are right now and where you want to be in the future. So really important. This, without fail, if you do not get this first step right, it is very difficult to create your goals because the unconscious mind doesn't know what you want. And one of the things that I have people say all the time, and it tends to be much more difficult to be able to create your success if it's an intangible creation of a success. What do I mean by that? A lot of people always say to me, I want to be happy. Now, what does happy mean? So happy is what we call a state of mind. You can be happy right now. What is it that you want? So you need to be really specific. And like I said, without the creation of a really specific goal and a focus for the unconscious mind to work towards, it does not know what you want, and it's all scattered. So you must have a great foundation, and it's fine to have a nice big goal, but you need to bring it back into closer and into what do I need to do this week. So you need stepping stones. Like I said, if you look at the foundation of a house, the foundation of a house, and a house is not built all at once. It's built in stages. So first we'll do this, and then we'll do that. We'll put this foundation in. So they have many different foundations under the ground. I think these days with slabs, they're still pouring concrete. You know, you don't pour the concrete in every single bit. You pour the concrete and lay the mesh everywhere to create sturdy foundations on which then you can build the rest of the house above. So anyone who's watching, we've got a few people live on Facebook at the moment. Please, I've put the registration link. If you want to see what I'm looking at on the webinar, register. These will be here every week and you can register. Today I'm going live just to show everyone what this is all about. Okay, the second F for success is focus. You need to have laser focus. So what do I mean again by focus? You need to look at 100% success in what you're doing. So you need to see that goal that you create in your foundations with 100% success. Any doubt will take you in a completely different direction. Now, here I like to use the analogy of flying a plane. Let's say a plane takes off from Melbourne to go to Sydney. If it veers slightly off course, it might end up in Canberra. So 100% certainty that you are going to have success is what is needed to be able to achieve that goal. And anything less than 100% is doubt. The other thing is to be able to focus on what you want is to have a look at your self-talk. What is it that you keep saying to yourself? Is your self-talk supporting that goal? Or is that self-talk, sometimes supporting that goal and then sometimes going, oh, I don't really know if I'm really going to make this. So really, really important that you look and examine your self-talk. And if you do have some self-talk away from what you want, you need to really challenge it and you need to stop and think, why is this happening? Again, the third part of our focus is doubt. What doubts do you have? Do you have any doubt? I've already said that we need 100% successful focus, but what doubt do you have? And again, you need to challenge it, You need to have a look at what resistance you have from getting that goal. And we need to have a look at whether it's true or not. And if you're finding that you do have limiting beliefs and things like that, what you need to do there is to, possibly see someone, or to really do some self-coaching in the sense of, how can I be thinking this? Where is this coming from? Why do I have these doubts? And are these doubts, again, real, or are they just a limiting belief? Now, sometimes we might have a doubt. Remember, I said before, things need to be achievable and realistic. Sometimes we might have a doubt that's real. Someone said to me once, what is a doubt that's real? Well, let's say I have a goal of wanting to become a doctor. Now, without study, further resources, I can't become a doctor. So that doubt is real, but it's something I can work towards. But if I said I'm not good enough to become a doctor, then that's a limiting belief. So sometimes our doubts, we need to look at them, examine them, and are they real? And if they are real, what can we do to change them? Really, really important. The next thing is you need to be laser focused. And what do I mean by being laser focused? If you have a look at a light globe, and a light globe has 100 watt of energy in it, and it lights up a whole room. At the moment, I've got 4 ceiling lights on in here because it's a bit of a dull day outside, so I've had to turn my lights on. So I've got 4 lights in here, and they're sending energy all around the room. But if you get a 100 watt laser beam, and it has direct focus, it will cut through glass. So if you want to achieve a goal, you must have direct focus, and get rid of all the distractions around you that are taking your focus away from that goal. So one of the things that I often say to people is, they say, how do I know if something's taken me away from the goal? Well, you sit and you ask yourself, am I getting closer to that goal, or am I getting further away? The next one is the unconscious mind needs a focus. I've already spoken about this in goals, but the unconscious mind needs a focus. So in order to be able to always get your goal, for the unconscious mind to filter the information, we get 11 million bits of information coming at us at 1 second. In order for the unconscious mind to filter in the information that you need, because it only filters in 126 bits of information, it needs to know what you're focused on in order to bring in what you want to see to move forward in that goal. And the third F for success is forward. You need to move forward. And the first part of moving forward is taking action. If you stay where you are right now, nothing's going to happen. If you keep doing the same things that you've been doing up until this point, nothing's going to happen. You need to take action. You need to move forward. And if you do get, have an obstacle in your way, that's okay, because it means that you've moved. If I stay sitting in this chair, I'm never going to encounter an obstacle. I'm going to be safe here in this comfort zone of mine and never incur any obstacles. But also too, if I want to walk from here into my kitchen, I'm going to have to go around my desk, open the doors to get into my kitchen. So they can, I'm just using those as an example of what an obstacle could be. But it means that I encounter having to walk around my desk or opening the doors because I've taken action. So a goal without a plan is just a dream. So make sure you take action towards what you want. Get organized. It is so important, guys, to have a planner, to get organized, to plan out what you need to do to get your big goal. I highly recommend, like I said, if you've got a really big goal, you break it down to day by day. That is what I do. I'm organized. I know what I'm doing every day towards achieving what I want to achieve in all areas of my life over the next couple of months. I haven't gone too far out because at the moment with this COVID-19, it's a little bit difficult to think too far out. But you can still have these big goals even though we've got the COVID-19. It might just change a little bit what you're doing right now. And then the third one is to have daily milestones and tick them off. So when you look at your big goals, it's not about the big picture, but what do you need every day to get to that goal? So they are the 3 F's for success. So like I said, these are not going to be more than half an hour webinars. These are just quick, short Monday morning musing with me, give you some of my best tips and hints. For the people that are watching live on Facebook, please register for these if you want to watch the recordings later on. They're not going to be long, or if you want to get the PowerPoints that the people that are registered on here are able to see. So for anyone who is on the PowerPoint or anyone on Facebook this morning, like I said, I'm not going to always be sharing these. So if you really want to stay in touch, let me know. Jump on my Facebook, in my Facebook group, so that you know each week what topics I'm going to do on a Monday. But if anyone has any questions in the chat or on Facebook, because I have taken these live on Facebook today, let me know. If not, I hope you enjoyed the 3 F's for success. So how are we going, guys, that are on the call with me? I have a couple of people registered in the webinar. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I will see you next Monday for my next Monday morning musing, where I will have varied topics. If anyone wants me to discuss something, let me know. I will endeavour to make sure I get that topic covered while I'm here. Anything at all, I don't mind, challenge me along. But that's great, Richard. I'm glad you enjoyed that. It's really important. They're very basic. I am going to go into a lot of those 3 F's in greater detail. Like I said, they're just very, very basic sort of way of beginning to think about how you can achieve what you want. Please join any of my groups to stay in touch, because I will be recommending these morning musing. And you get to see the topics each week. I highly recommend that you register only 1 week per time, because I might do a topic 1 week that you really don't want to see. So that's it from me now, guys. Thank you for those that have jumped on the call, and you will receive the recording